Hi there, Natalie with you with a new process video for Scrapbook Nerd. And today I just want to show you how I went about creating this layout that documents my daughter and my niece and their fascination with taking selfies. A couple weeks ago, I picked up the Along the Way collection by Pebbles from the store. There's a lot of new goodies arriving at the store, so make sure you check them out. And all I'm going to do is usually I skip the steps or when I'm back in a cut file, a cutout in this case, but I'm going to take the time to show you. And now this is personal choice. I like to use a lot of small prints or solid papers to back the cutouts. I love to show the detail of the cutout. So this is, like I said, preference, my personal choice. It's up to you what type of paper. So you're going to see this cut file in reality is pretty simple, but it has intricate little details. So my first choice is going to be to take one of the lemons in this case because it had a solid yellow pattern just to create the flower. And you're going to see that all I'm going to do is use a pencil just to trace the outline of the flower. And I'm going to actually cut it, fussy cut it, but I'm going to fussy cut it inside of the line that I trace. I'm going to leave quite a bit inside. I just got to make sure that, remember that when you trace with the pencil the image, you're tracing outside of the white line that the cutout is creating. So you want to make sure that when you glue the paper, none of the paper, in this case the yellow, is going to show. So make sure that when you fussy cut a little bit inside of the line that you created. That way the white is gonna be your limit. You're not gonna have any yellow. And if you have any pieces of yellow in this case, or any of the paper that you're using to back out, you're just gonna use a pair of scissors to fussy cut. So by tracing and taking that little step, it's just gonna help or reduces the time that you're gonna take fussy cutting the image. Now you're gonna see that I'm gonna show you another way that I use also to back a cut file. In this case, I'm doing a straight backing. I'm not adding any dimension in between the cutout and the paper. I'm just gonna usually just glue to it. And you're gonna see that to create the little branches, I'm gonna use the two colors. I'm gonna use the green tone that you see and also the mint from this little paper that has the houses. So all I'm doing is cutting rectangles that are pretty much the dimension of the little two leaves together. And I'm just gonna glue the paper straight onto the leaves and then gonna use a pair of scissors just to fussy cut around it, being careful not to cut the cardstock obviously. And it's just an easy way because the little pieces are so small. It's an easier way for me to do it. And then I'm gonna continue. You're gonna see that I'm gonna, like I said before, I like to choose solid papers or small prints to back my cutouts. So I'm taking advantage of some of the places where I see a solid print. Now you're gonna see that this cut file, it's great for detailing. Even though it's simple, it's very intricate in a way that there's little details like the lenses. You're gonna see the glass of the camera. There's the lines, the metallic lines that a camera usually has. So I'm gonna take advantage of a lot of the papers in the collection to back this cut file, kind of detail it. I want it to be part of the focus of this layout. So you're gonna see that to create the glass of the camera, I would have gone for something like maybe if I had white or something really silvery, but this collection had a paper that was white with gold polka dots. So I'm going to take advantage of that. I want a little bit of shine and the lightness. So I cut a circle just to back the center, the lens, and then I'm going to cut another circle to that from a black paper from the collection just to back the lens or the rim of the lens. Now, there's some lines in the camera that just are it's the detail of the camera. So I'm gonna take advantage. I have actually the paper pad for this. And I'm gonna take advantage of the gold foil of the paper pad to create the lines of the camera. The great place, like I said, even though the cut file is simple and this layout is very simple, I think that by detailing the cutout, it's gonna bring a lot of attention, and it's gonna show that you put a lot of work into detailing the cut file and make it a focus of the layout. You're gonna see super simple. Now, once I have that ready, that's pretty much I'm done backing the entire cut file. And my choice for this layout was actually not to use white cardstock. And you guys know, if you see my work, I love white cardstock. But I have a lot of paper, and I really like this. It's a very simple design that came from the paper pad. But I want to dull, or I want to cover a little bit of the little I don't know how you call it, the little grid on the background. So my choice is to use some white acrylic paint. And all I'm doing is I'm using a dry brush, and you're going to see that I'm just adding some strokes just to kind of cover or haze the area where I'm going to put the camera and also the picture. So you're going to see that I'm not doing a heavy application of the white acrylic paint in this case. And in my choice, you're going to see that I kind of feather the edges of the where I'm applying the paint, just because I don't want it to be streaky. I want it to actually have, like I said, I'm thinking of hazing. So you're gonna see that I'm just kind of, I don't know how you say it, but I'm just kind of like feathering the edges of where I'm applying it with the brush. Now, I love my new guillotine. I just picked it up from the store. Love it. So all I'm doing is I'm gonna use a yellow paper. This is one of the yellow papers with gold that comes from the 6x8 that paper pad, just to back the picture. I added a little piece of vellum behind the picture just to soften the yellow. I don't want it to be flashy. I don't want it to stand out that much, but I want it to show a little bit. Now, because the camera, I've used different, I'm gonna say like different layers of paper when backing it up. There's a little bit of dimension. So I'm just gonna add this really fine piece of fun foam. This is from the dollar store, just to give it a little bit of a lift. And then I'm gonna add some foam adhesive behind the picture, just to make it pop from behind the picture. Now, what I'm doing right now while everything, the paint dries in my background, is actually fussy cutting some of the flower images from some of the papers, and also the ephemera pack that came in the collection. There's these big circles, these big ovals full of flowers. So I'm just gonna fussy cut the floral motif from the paper. And now all you're gonna see me do is I'm just gonna start working and adding all those fussy cut details to the layout. I want to create clusters around the picture. And first thing I did is I created a cluster at the bottom of the camera, because I placed my picture on a diagonal. When I took the picture of my kids, I was sitting at the table, so it was kind of a weird angle. And that's one of the ideas of putting the picture on a little slanted, because if you see the lines of the wall actually match when they slant and make them actually kind of straight. I don't know how to explain it. It's a little bit weird, but that was because of the angle. It actually helped me. Now, so because I placed the picture on a slant, I'm gonna kind of go for a diagonal design. You're gonna see that I'm gonna add my clusters at the top corner of the picture where the picture and the camera meet, and then at the bottom of the picture. And I'm just taking advantage, like I said, of all the fussy cut florals. I'm not gonna add that much. I'm gonna add just some stickers from the word sticker pack that comes also in the collection. And I'm just adding a little bit of enamel dots. These are also from the Along the Way collection. Now for my title, I'm using Paige Evans, or Pink Pages in this case, whimsical alphas. I love these alphas. They're small, and I'm taking the ones that actually, they have these little peach tones, and I think it's gonna match a lot of the flowers. Now, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of gold ink. The only thing you're gonna see me change is that I had the pink butterfly, but once I started, I finished, I wasn't liking all the little, I find it was really pale. The selfie time already is very pale. So I'm gonna change the butterfly to something more of the mint kind of teal look, just to bring the emphasis to the title. And that's about it. Super simple. Like I said, this layout took an hour. I hope you try it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. You can check all the materials that I used at Scrapbook Nerd, and make sure you stop by. There's a whole bunch of new collections arriving. And thank you so much for joining me. Like I said before, don't forget to check the blog. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you so much for joining me today. Take care, guys.